just quickly before we start, as you guys can see, this video is pretty lengthy. If you're a completely new player, I suggest you watch the whole of it. If you are a returning player, you can maybe skip some parts, but in everything being said, there are always timestamps, maybe if you are interested in some specific part. But as I said, if you are a new player, it's maybe going to be pretty easier for you if you watch the whole video, or maybe just speed up or at least focus on the parts where I talk about leveling and getting to level 80 and how you can proceed to do that. Thank you so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this one. First thing that you are going to see is the character creation screen, or you are going to rather see it after you click create character. As you can see, on the left we have Alliance, and on the right we have Horde. These are two major factions, but now currently in the game they can both do everything together, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose. I suggest you choose the one that you like the more, or basically the models that you like more. Here, let's say for example, you have classes. As you can see, humans can be every single class. They can be druids, shamans, demon hunters, and evokers. But for example, night elves can be paladins, but they can be druids. So goes on for Draenei's as well. They can be druids, but they can be shamans, and so on. You're going to basically see how that works. Also, you have here a class trial that you can create and test out the class on the higher levels, but most of them do what you expect them to do. Like warrior is, as it says right here, tank or melee DPS, meaning you are going to be close to the thing that you are fighting and you are going to be slapping them around. Now, this that you see right here, this one's here and this one's here, they won't be available to you, since they are, how are they actually called? Basically, they are, you unlock them by playing the game. Like, for example, the Dark Iron Dwarfs, there is a quest line that you need to finish and achievement, and then you unlock them. So if you are a new player, you are only going to be able to choose from these ones on far left and far right. Now, let's say I'll go on with a human paladin, because why not? Up here you can choose if you want to be a woman or a man, or how they say body 1 and body 2. I'm going to choose man, and then here you can customize your character, even though this shit looks really fucking good, like funny. Yeah, this is how you expect your average paladin to be. No bro, what the fuck. Average person using trend at 20 years old. And I'm going to create my character, and then I'm gonna get back to you. And after you customize your character and choose a name, as you can see, I'm OF Manager. And then you're going to get a very important question. Do you want to level at Exile's Reach or Northshire Valley? Just for example, Northshire Valley is the human leveling zone. Let's say you pick Horde, you're going to Valley of something, I kind of forgot. But my tip is, if you're a returning player, maybe like after 2 to 3 years, or if you are a brand new player, always go with Exile Reach. It's basically going to give you quests, show you how the game works and everything, and I think it does that very, very good. And only OF Manager is ready to enter his world, and he is going to. Once it loads, you're going to get this cutscene, which I did God knows how many times, so I'm going to skip it. And here you get basically how the game works, how you should position your hand, how to move, look around, and so on. I'm gonna move this. I have some add-ons, and as you can see, we can walk around. And just give me a second. I'll leave the sound on, but I'll kinda lower it. Here you're basically going to learn basics of a combat, attack target dummies, and so on. Use your ability and how everything works. As you can see, your first quest is to destroy a combat dummy. And since we are already doing this, this is something important. Do you see the question mark, how it is, like this big thing around it? Not only the question mark, but like the layout next to it. These are, as it says, campaign quests. These will be mandatory to follow and finish, since they will unlock more new content for you. Currently not, but once you get to level 70, I'll explain everything there, but still, just so you can keep in mind on. You basically go on, complete the quests, there's your XP bar and so on. You complete this, and then I'm going to get back to you, because this can do everyone. Now actually, once you are up on the shore, you go talk to this Captain Garrick, and she's going to give you a quest. Recover 6 first aid kits from Murlocs. And that basically is, as you can see, there's your minimap. By using P, you open your spell book. Don't mind these little things. And basically you need to kill and loot. You'll go on to finish the quests as she gives to you. Now, once you hit level 10 with your class, I actually hit it a bit before because I have an XP buff from all of my other level 80 classes, but you be able to choose your talents, and you can do that by clicking N, and then you will be offered 3 or 4 choices depending on the class, but most of the time 3. Now, not all of the classes can be healer, tank and damage. Some of the classes are only damage, some are healer damage, and some can do all 3, as you can see. And the thing is, here you have sample abilities. These sample abilities, let's call them, they are your main abilities, or basically some abilities that will increase your strength by a lot. And depending on which talent you want to go on, you can choose it. Now, I personally like DPS, but just to be clear, you can always switch between them. It doesn't matter if you are healer, you just go out to combat, click N, you swap to tank. Of course, you need to have gear for that, but later on in the game, all of the gear has all of these stats anyways. So here you can basically choose which spec do you want to go and what do you want to do in dungeons. Leveling, it doesn't really matter, but once you queue for dungeons, raids and so on, of course your spec is going to matter. And let's say, for example, I'm going to choose protection. And once this is done, here you have all of your talents. Of course, with each level, after level 10, you get to unlock 1 knowledge point, and then you get to place it, to see where it goes, or basically what it does, and so on. For example, I'll take this Hammer of Wrath. You click apply changes, and there you go. If it's an active ability, you get it. If it's not, then of course you get the effect. Here I also have some other abilities that I'm going to equip, and yeah, I'll see you later. And once you complete all of the quests, the last one will be complete the dungeon Darkmost Citadel. You basically accept that, and then they are going to teach you how to use the dungeon finder group. You go on, select the dungeon, and as you can see, we can only queue as a damage dealer probably at the start. You go in, you finish the dungeon. Basically all of the dungeons are, let's say, kinda the same. You go on, you clear the mobs, you take the bosses out, and then you are done. And of course, it goes without saying, not every loadout is the same. Once you finish the dungeon, you are going to talk to Captain Garrick once again, and I'm pretty sure she bugged for me and stayed down here. You're going to talk to her, and then you are going to go back home. I'm not really sure how yet. Then you go here, you finish your quest. Well, if the NPC didn't disappear, you'd finish it. But you are going to get your chance to finish it, and then you will be making your way to Stormwind or Orgrimmar, depending on which how do you call it? With what you chose, depending on did you choose Alliance or Horde. Here you can right click, I mean they teach you everything, you jump on the Griffin, and then you are going to go back to the Stormwind, and it will not let you come back here. So if you, I mean, there is not really much to miss here. It's just an, let's say, like an entry to the game, and I think that they did a really good job for the new players. Basically, how do you start with the game, some mechanics, and so on. Once you get to the Stormwind or Orgrimmar, you're going to complete this quest, and then you're going to get these Welcome to the Stormwind quest. Now I'm not really sure, are you going to have a mount at that point or not? But just for the sake of me explaining everything faster, I'm going to use my mount. Okay, there you go. You basically come to this bridge, and then he is going to send you, or he is going to, yeah, go with you to stables so you can get your mount. Once you get here, you're going to talk to this guy and get your mount. And let's see what the next quest is. Specialty. You can basically learn combat specializations, meaning you can have two at the same time. And here at Shift P or click down there is going to open your mount tab. There you can see your mounts, as you can see, pets, toys, and so on. Everything that you are going to acquire whilst playing the game. Here you can read this. I don't need to. Then you basically complete the quest. And here basically we are going to get ourselves a Hearthstone. Hearthstone basically allows you to teleport back to destination that you put, or you're going to see right now. Basically talk to the innkeeper, make this in your home, and you get a Hearthstone. And every time you are going to use this, you will return here. Of course, you can change the locations throughout. And as you can see, here the Dragon Isles Await quest popped out. Now this you want to accept. You want to accept it, and also before we get there, this is basically the main storyline that you are going to be following up to level 70. Once you hit level 70, you are going to start following the latest quest line, being the, how is it called? Kaz Algar basic quest line. But up until level 70, you are going to be leveling in Dragon Isles using random dungeon finder. And of course, you always want to go to random dungeon and then find group, because then you get extra rewards. If you do a specific dungeon, you won't get your extra rewards. And also, before we go there, I want to just to cover. This is Chromie. Basically, what Chromie does, you can choose a quest line or timeline. As you can see here, you have all of them, all of the ones that we had previously, and so on. Now, if you're just starting with the game or returning, I highly suggest Dragonflight. Why? Because it's most similar to the game that we have right now. If you go to Outland, it's basically WoW, but you don't have some stuff that we have currently in the game. And here I also leveled a lot of characters through Dragonflight, and I would highly recommend it. For your first character, then once you level your second, you can choose to go wherever you want, but I highly recommend Dragonflight as it's one of the best experiences. And basically you're going to go follow this quest line, go to Dragonflight, and so on. And whilst we are at it, if you are anytime you are in a major city or somewhere, you can always find guards to talk to, and they you can ask them for directions where you can find something. And I think that is basically everything from level 10 to 70. Because once you get to Dragon Isles, as I said, you're going to be following the quest line. It doesn't really matter what you do. And also, as you can see, things like these ones right here. These are called world quests. You complete the specific objective and you get the reward that is basically stated there. And you also get some XP, gold, the gear, depending on what is the reward. And also, before you start leveling, if you want, as you can see, once you hit level 20, there is this thing called Warmode. Enlist in Warmode and activate World PvP, increasing quest rewards and experience by 10% and enabling PvP talents in outdoor world. Meaning, if you have this activated, you're going to get 10% more XP for every quest, and you are also going to be able to attack players of opposite faction. And with time, you'll be able to unlock your talent slots. Of course, here, if you do not know the build, I mean, leveling is not that important, but you can always choose the starter build that Blizzard offers you. Now, question like, with should you level as a healer, tank, or damage. I haven't tried leveling as a healer. I did when I did dungeons, but you don't want to just do dungeons. You want to level, you want to experience the world, the quests, and so on. So I would recommend protection, or I would recommend doing it as a tank, because tanks do much more damage than you think. And as damage, of course, you can always try healer. You just activate, you switch, and there it is. And yeah, I think that would be all as of from level 10 to 70. And then I'm going to explain to you how it goes from 70 to 80 and what you should focus on. Now, once you hit level 70, you do the quest line. Of course, it will pop up, and once you basically get a little bit with it, you are going to get to Dornogold. This is the main town of our current expansion, the War Within. And here, I do not know why can't I show you currently, but here you want to continue with your... Once you hit level 70, you're going to see right here Visions of Azeroth. This is basically the current campaign that you need to follow, and you'll probably get a quest like right here. It's going to pop up, and it currently says Return to Dalaran. But if you actually read it, it takes the portal from Pathfinder's Den to Asuna. Via Asuna, while from there you can fly to Legion, Dalaran, where we need to be. And to do that, you want to make your way to Portal Room here in Orgrimmar, or can I say it for Stormwind if I'm actually... I can, but it's here in the Mage Quarters. And you can always talk to the guards, and they can also point you up to the Portal Room. Now let's make our way there, go through the portal, and the portal should be this one right here. And it doesn't matter if you are Horde or Alliance, after going through the portal you are going to be in the exact same place. And from here, once we load, we are going to take the flight path. Or, I mean, the flight path doesn't really matter, you just want to go to the nearest flight master that there is. And that is going to be this one right here at the Oidaris Strand. And then you want to fly to Dalaran. And I'll see you when I get there. When you get here, you want to make your way to the center, where we are going to find the rest of the quest line. Basically, step on that thing on the floor and you are going to be here. And from there on, I think you just continue with the quest line. I'm pretty sure, as you can see, I do not know what is going on with the screen and why is it like having these chokes. I am going to skip this because I already did it. But if you are new or you haven't done it or you're returning to the game, you want to click I'll wait for you here and then continue on the quest. But since I'm going to skip all of this, I'm going to get teleported right into Dornogo, or not Dornogo, but actually, yeah. But if you don't skip it, you are going to be here at this quest right here. And as you can see, continue the campaign by accepting the quest Slay the Saboteurs in Isle of Dawn. If you finish the quest in Dalaran, you are going to be here at this shore. And now a very important thing. When the quest looks like this, it's a campaign quest. These quests, I don't know if you like questing or you like to level using some other ways. These quests you will have to do to progress further in the game, to unlock other zones and so on. So I highly suggest you do every single one of these quests. The storyline ain't too bad, the quests are pretty fun. I did it like 2 to 3 times. So you want to do them. All of these other quests like this, let's say like the normal thing is, you can do them. No one is saying you can do them or you won't. I actually did every single quest that there was once I started playing the War Within. So keep in mind, just follow these quests. Follow the, the campaign and finish it fully. Now, once you get to Dornogo, I highly suggest that you make your way to this inn right here. And here you can actually place your Hearthstone, and from Dornogo, of course, you can access every single Portal Room to Stormwind, and so on. Now, world quests, I'm pretty sure they won't be unlocked the same second that you get here, but rather once you actually do the campaign or get level 80, something like that. But now, important thing, since we are already at this point. These locked ones are special assignments, and they are going to award gore. Gore, oh my fucking god, what is gore? They are going to award gold, gear, and some crests that can be used to upgrade gear. To unlock them, you need to finish 3 world quests in that specific zone. These ones are races with your mount, and these are normal. As you can see, they have a task for you. This is a specific event tied to the zone. You basically join this theater, do some things for 5 minutes and something like that, and you are going to get reputation with Dornogal. Not with Dornogal, but with Isle of Dorn. And as you can see, first 4 reputation grinds, not grinds, but the reputation that you are going to collect is Council of Dornogal, Assembly of Deeps, which is tied to Ringing Deeps, as the name suggests, Hallowfall, which is tied to Hallowfall, and the Severed Threads, which is tied to Ashkashet. You shouldn't be too much focused on this. You don't get some insane things, you get some knowledge points and so on, some mounts and stuff like that, but it's nothing game changing or game breaking. And the newest one that we got is the Cartels of Undermine, but that is going to be unlocked once you hit level 80, finish the campaign and make your way over there. Now, every week in Dornogal, as you can see, we have some blue not question marks, but the exact, I forgot how it's called. But basically, they are weekly quests, and they are going to offer you. Not everyone is going to have a choice, but let's say this one, you need to find Titan Disc Fragments. They are found by killing rare mobs, treasures, and so on. Actually, if you take this quest at level 80, it's going to award epic gear and not a blue piece of gear. Same goes for this one. But basically, those are the quests that you can take weekly and finish. And as I said, every single zone has something specific to them. Here is like, I don't see it right here from the minimap, but it's called Awakening the Machine. And there you find 20 waves of enemies, you get some reputation for the Ringing Deeps and so on. Hallowfall is a lot easier to do. You need to activate 4 lesser keyflames. I mean, basically every single zone has a thing of its own. Only Ashkashet is a bit special because you need to choose a pact, and depending on which pact you choose, you are going to get some bonuses and some other rewards, but nothing significant. Other that one pact increases your gathering speed by 30%. And that would be pretty much all that you need to know, like let's say for a start about this. I mean, you don't even have to know it, but like by playing the game you are going to get it. But I'm just talking about it in case someone wants to hear it. And since I'm already here, let's talk about professions. If you played WoW, you know there are gathering professions and crafting professions. Now, what do I suggest you do at the start? You could pick up something like mining and herbalism on one character, because then you can go gather. And if you're interested in guides for mining and herbalism, I have them on my channel and I'll put them in the description, so this video doesn't get 20 minutes longer. Other than that, what I kinda like is enchanting, because you are going to get a lot of green gear that you won't need, so you can disenchant it, but I do not think that it's that much profitable currently. So I highly suggest a gathering profession for start. And I need to see the notepad that I make to see if I forgot something, and then I'm going to get back to you. But this is pretty much it currently. So, I just wanted to talk a bit about progression. I'm sorry for my inventory, my keyboard is not exactly working, but once you go through to follow the storyline, and since the season 2 is about to start, I think actually in 2 days, you're going to be visiting here the Silent Isle. Here you are going to get a pretty decent ring that you are going to use through whole of the expansion, and then you're going to get to the Undermine. And whilst leveling and completing the campaign, you'll probably end up around item level 610, 615, something like that, maybe if you get some pretty decent upgrades. And I also suggest once you hit level 80 that you go on and do all of the world quests, as they are going to award you with some pretty decent gear. Not insane gear, but pretty much better than you have. Also, same goes for these things. They are going to award you with epic pieces of gear, 2 pieces per week, I think. And I wanted to also to talk a bit about these, how do you call them, crests, basically. These crests allow you to upgrade gear. Depending on which crest it is, so these weathered are going to be used to upgrade gear a bit. Like, for example, I can upgrade this because all of my gear is from the last season. As you can see, for normal gear, you can use it to upgrade some lower pieces. But let's say you get a, I don't know, let's look at the raids from the War Within. Let's say you go on and raid, you get like this wrist. You won't be able to use too many of these weather ones, maybe for like 1 upgrade out of 8 or 2. So keep in mind that these crests basically, when you do harder content, you're going to be awarded better crests. And better crests are going to be used to upgrade your gear to its maximal power. I do not suggest you upgrade your green or blue gear. Maybe if you are missing some item levels to get into heroic or mythic dungeons. But other than that, you should probably save them for some higher pieces of gear and then upgrade them as the game goes on. But even if you do, I think the number of obtainable, yeah, it's actually capped. So make sure you want to upgrade something that you are going to use for a longer time, maybe some bis items and so on, that you can always find on the internet. But you shouldn't be too much scared about the gear. And in case you're going to focus on PvE, you probably want to run dungeons on heroic first. I mean, let's say for example, this dungeon is going to be in the next rotation. As you can see, heroic items, they aren't insane or something like that, but it's going to give you a pretty good knowledge of the dungeon and so on. So you won't have any problems, let's say, when you go on and do Mythic. And once you clear all of the dungeons on Mythic 0 that are going to be in the Season 2, then you can start running keys. Keys are basically, once you finish a dungeon that is Mythic 0 difficulty, you get a key that is for a random dungeon out of the 8 that are going to be in the season. And as you can see, for example, when I go into dungeons, find a group, here like plus 19, this is an insanely high key. 0 is just Mythic 0, as you can see, plus 8, plus 16 and so on. Not many people are doing keys now because the season ended, but yeah, you should always do dungeons on heroic, mythic, and basically look up anything that you don't understand so you can fix your performance. It's going to be better for your group and it's going to be much more fun for you if you know what you are doing. But with that being said, you shouldn't really be scared about gear. I'm sorry, I'm really getting annoyed with my inventory. You shouldn't really be scared about the gear because you're just going to obtain it. It's not going to run away. You are not going to be late even if you start a month 2 into the season. Nothing is going to escape from you or something like that. And in case you are going to be more focused on PvP side of the game, or you just want to try it, I highly suggest that you try it out with some, you're going to player versus player. Here you have random battlegrounds, random epic battlegrounds, which take quite some time. You have brawls, which award pretty decent amount of honor and conquest. Honor and conquest are going to be used to obtain PvP gear. And basically what PvP gear does, let me show you for an example, if my inventory can stop fucking bugging. I'll go like this, I'm sorry for this. Let's say here, for example, I have 2 sets, let's say like for my sword. Or for the weapon that I'm using. This is the weapon that I use in PvE. Basically, its item level is 619. Whilst, for example, let's say this sword, up there it says item level 593. But if you actually read what the equip does, it increases item level to a minimum of 636 in arenas and battlegrounds. Also in world PvP. Meaning, if you go on and turn on the Warmode and you go on to do some PvP, I don't know, here or in any other zone or somewhere, you'll probably have like, before someone attacks, you'll probably have like 4 million HP because your item level is going to be so low. But once they attack you, basically the gear is going to activate because you are doing another player and your HP is going to increase. As you can see, my item level is 621, but PvP item level is 630, and this is for everything for the last season. Like, new season is going to get new gear and it's going to be even more powerful. Also, whilst you are in war mode, there are going to be some random drops in some zones. You can loot those chests to get bloody tokens, some conquest and honor. All of these 3 can be used to buy PvP gear, with honor gear being the least powerful, then following bloody tokens, I think, and conquest gear is going to be the most powerful gear that you can obtain. Also, if you go on to talk to this little guy, he always has some quests that involve PvP, and basically they are not always the same, but I mean, I guess that is the whole fucking point of it not being the same every week and so on. As you can see, some quests award blight tokens, honor, conquest, some just award conquest and honor. Like here, for example, of course they award small amounts of reputation, but that is not really something that you should worry about too much. And gear you can buy here inside unless they change it, but currently it's right here. Now let me quickly talk a bit about the auction house. I mean, auction house as auction house, you can find pretty much everything on it. But you may also notice this thing right here, which is called the WoW token. And basically this adds 30 days of game time to your World of Warcraft account, or 13 euros in my case to your Blizzard balance. This means you can, as you guys know, World of Warcraft, you need to buy the latest expansion and then you need to buy the subscription, unless you get the epic pack, which is going to come with the level boost, the 1 month subscription and so on. Currently this is the price. It's not the lowest, but it's not that bad. You can always buy this now. Just you won't be able probably to buy this in the first month, or I don't suggest that you waste all of your time farming gold. If that is something that you like, go for it, but in case you want to do PvP, PvE and so on, you won't have time to farm gold, so I just thought I'd mention this. And as I said, there are other packs in the game, like the basic one, I think it's now like 20 euros, something like that, isn't it, like 50% off? That gets you the game and all of the other expansions, but it gets you the newest one as well. I think the middle boost gets you, I think, level boost, and it gets you, yeah, the game and maybe some stuff as well. And the epic one gets you some transmogs, toys, 1 month subscription, boost and game. So you do you buy what you want. I personally bought epic because, I mean, this is pretty much the only game that I pay and play. Other ones that I do play, maybe sometimes they are all free. But yeah, that is pretty much what you need to know about the auction house at the start. And that is pretty much everything that you need to know as a beginner or returning WoW player in 2025. I went over some basic things, maybe some more advanced things that I thought you should know. And as I want to say, this is everything that I kind of thought in my head and wrote down. It can happen that I missed something, but I'm pretty sure I covered most important points. Still, if you have any questions, you can always post them in the comments. I'm going to be always replying to them and trying to help out if I can. And you shouldn't be too much worried, are you going to learn this, how you're going to do that, and so on. I've been playing this game not for years, but you could say for years on and off, and there is always something new to learn, something fun to find. Maybe if you got bored from this, you're going to find something else. And don't listen to what the other people say. If you enjoy the game, play it. If you don't, of course you won't play it, and just focus on yourself and spending your time in the most, let's say, like, enjoyable way. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, since I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And that would be all. As I said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.